hear me. And that is what a drive looks like in the fall in Amish country. Beautiful. It was a beautiful morning. A little fog hanging in there. Leaves starting to turn. I loved it. So join me live. Bring me your questions. Any questions you want. The camera is not where it's supposed to be. There we go. It's supposed to be eye level. I don't know. Yeah, join me live. Bring me your questions. All of them. Doesn't matter what. Do aliens exist? Yeah. What time do Amish people go to bed at night? Anything like that. I can't answer everything, obviously. Why is there we go. You still alive? Hey, Caleb, I am still alive. I know, I just kind of dropped off the edge of the earth. The edge of the flat earth. For a while there. But I'm back because there is no edge you can fall off of. It's a joke. Missed your live stream last weekend. Glad to be back. Yep. I didn't do one last weekend. I was in Ohio. So, and I didn't do one last night because we were busy. I'm not going to do one next weekend because I'm in Ohio. I might just have to switch back to Sundays because, yeah, Saturdays just seems like, yeah, I've been taking people to Ohio, driving people. They're hiring me with my 15-passenger van to take them places. Usually Amish. So I took 4 Amish couples to Ohio last weekend, and they usually come home Saturday night. So they're not, the Amish around here will travel on Sundays, it's fine, but they prefer to be home Saturday night so they can go to church on Sunday. So yeah, maybe Sundays would work better. I might just switch back to Sundays. We're now back inside. It's not sunny out, not warm out for me and Miranda and the wife to go do things. So, hi Nita, Marna, rings. Oh, cold and rainy here in Huber Heights, Southwest Ohio. Are there engagement rings in the Amish? No engagement rings. I can explain that. That's a good question. But yeah, it's cold and rainy here as well. It's chilly and rainy. We're still running, me and my brother and a few people Amish guys. And yeah, it was 48 degrees and wet. So we run on the bike trail, the Pumpkin Vine Trail. But me and my brother are still doing it barefoot. So it was still doable at 48 degrees. And might be doable down to like 40 degrees. I don't know. We're going to try it. But yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what the weather brings. We're going to run as long as we can. We made a pact that we're going to run every week. At least 2 miles, no matter the weather. Rain, sleet, snow, whatever. At least 2 miles. And I think that's good. I know that, if it's sleeting or raining hard, it'd be easy just to make an excuse and check out. But I think it's good for us men to put ourselves through a little bit of pain sometimes and misery. Matter of fact, a new guy went running with us. He's not a member of the Amish church. He comes from the Amish, though, a friend of mine. And he was just saying something about some guy he follows or something that said that every day you should wake up and you should do something you really don't want to do. And you should learn how to overcome that and strengthen that in you, because it's hard. It's hard to do something you don't want to do. And, just running. When it's raining out and cold, you don't want to go. You want to stay in bed. You really don't want to go. And you probably wouldn't, or I wouldn't, unless there's other guys going. Now they rely on me to pick them up or be there, or, I don't want to be a loser for dropping out. So we hold each other accountable. But once you're out there and running and doing it, it's fun. It's not that bad. So yeah, overcoming the weaknesses. But let's get into questions. I am having a glass of cider, the best apple cider there is, from Miller's Mill in Middlebury, Indiana. Not affiliated. You should go check it out if you're ever in the area. Miller's Mill in Indiana, Middlebury, Indiana. If you're in downtown Middlebury, there is the fire station. There's a road that angles out towards Bristol. It's called Bristol Avenue, Bristol Road, Bristol Avenue, I don't know, County Road 8. You take that out, I don't know if it's a mile and a half outside of town. If you're heading towards Bristol, there's a little apple cider sign on the right-hand side and Miller's Mill. Usually they'll have it into January, February. So it's the best. They mix, I think the list when I was there, they had 10 or 12 different varieties of apples in this right here. So good. It's like drinking all those different apples. And the mixture of the sweets and the sours, it's just they get it right. They will look Amish when you get there, but they are not Amish. They're not Amish people. They are, I don't know if they have a name, but just a very conservative, very nice people. I actually started speaking Amish to them first time I was there, and the lady there said, no, we don't talk Amish. And then I've taken other people who started speaking Amish to her too, and they probably get that all the time. They are not Amish. They drive cars and have electricity. But yeah, they have a mill. So there used to be a mill there, probably started in the 1800s, and they are still at that place making apple cider, keeping it in the family. So John says, does just getting out of bed count? Well, yeah. So I guess that would be one, but I don't know if that would be considered. I don't know. I don't think that's helping you any if you overcome getting out of bed. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Why not? There's some people who struggle with it more than I do. Like my wife and kids. My wife and Miranda, they don't wake up like I do. It takes them a while. Miranda has to sit in bed for like 30 minutes. She sits up and then sits there for like 30 minutes trying to grasp the reality she's in and the world she's living in, and then try to get her eyes open. It's hilarious. And I'm the annoying one, all cheery and happy. Good morning. It just annoys them. I love it. The fun life of a dad and a husband. So anyway, Joyce, where are you? Hi from North Georgia. Hi, North Georgia. Miss Sunrise Dawn, how are you guys? West of Yellow Springs, not sure. With all the tourism by you, would you guys ever open a bed and breakfast or Airbnb in the Shipshewana area? Seems like it would be a good idea with all the visitors. Absolutely. I don't know if I can pronounce her name. Mariola? Yeah, that is. There's people who do it. There's some bed and breakfasts and Airbnbs. And for sure, it would be a good thing. Land here, though, is expensive, so you have to think of that. Honestly, I think the tourist the tourist stuff is bigger in Ohio and Pennsylvania, but it's still prominent here in Shipshewana, Indiana, and yeah, definitely that would be a lucrative business for sure. You know that we might. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I need to look for some places in Shipshewana, but it would be good because my wife has family in Idaho, so it'd be awesome if we could have a Airbnb house here and a house in Idaho. I don't know how we manage that, but uh, so that we could have a place to stay when we are traveling back and forth. So Random Adventures 2.0 says, "Hey, Amish Potato, just wanted to stop in and say hello." Hey, how are you? Are you not over in? Are you Random Adventures 2.0? Are you the off-road guy from Napanee? I'm not sure. If you are, you probably, I don't know, can't remember. I might have that wrong. I might have that mixed up. Let's start with a question with rings. Are there engagement rings in the Amish? Nope, no engagement rings. Amish don't do rings unless they're starting now that I'm unaware of, but as far as I know, nope, no rings. There are engagements. So yes, Amish people date for a while. They actually they date as in they go out to eat or whatever for every week or every other week. 7 or 8 times, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. And then it's kind of old school, but then this community here in northern Indiana. This might vary from other communities. I always have to say that because people start jumping my butt. You don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, so in this community, they date a few times. They go out on dates a few times, and then the guy usually asks the girl if she wants to go steady, to be his steady girlfriend. So then they're boyfriend girlfriend, which now we would in the non-Amish world we would call that dating. Usually that happens for a year or 2 or 3 or 5, just depending. And then the guy will ask her at some point if she wants to marry him. And that, I think, more lately than normal, or than it used to be back in, like, say, my parents' days, guys will actually plan events to ask them, like, in the movies or whatever, like non-Amish people do. They'll go traveling or something, then at a nice sunset on the edge of a cliff or whatever, they'll propose. In Indiana, we don't have any cliffs, so maybe they'll take their girlfriend on a picnic, set up a blanket or whatever, and propose to them there. Usually there's not cameras involved or anything like that. It's just them. But yeah, usually, a lot of times it's something special, sometimes not. So yeah, and then they get married. So usually they'll be engaged for a year and a half. Once they're engaged, they like to get married, but the marriage date depends. Doesn't depend on available spot like a church or something to be married in, because they get married in the Amish homes, in the bride's home. But it depends on the cook wagon. So in Amish weddings, there's so many people. I think, like my sister, when she got married, there was 1,200, 1,300 place settings. Like, it's just insane. So there's a lot of food that needs to be cooked. They serve 1, 2, 3.5 meals, basically. So now why Siri? Stop. No. There's nothing to stop here. Yeah, so they get these wagons. They have these wagons, these RV-shaped trailers with slide-outs on them, full of stoves and sinks and all that stuff. And I don't know how to make her go away. Go away, Siri. I got this annoying little bubble in my laptop. Just... Yeah, she doesn't get what I'm saying. Well, no kidding. She's still trying to talk to me. Okay. Sorry about that. So yeah, they have this wagon full of, cook stuff, and it has to be set up a few days before. Like, usually you rent that, and you rent a big trailer cooler deal. You rent that as well. So you have to have that a couple days before the wedding, and then usually it's torn down the day or two after the wedding. And then it goes to the next person's wedding, wherever that may be. So their date really depends on the availability of these wagons, these cook wagons. And yeah, and there's a lot of weddings in Amish communities. So hopefully that answers your question. No ring, pretty simple. The only way you know that an Amish woman is married is by her. She wears, when she's married, she wears an apron. In Indiana, in our community anyway, this varies once again, but in our community, the Amish girls, before they're married, just wear a dress. And then once they're married, their dress, they start wearing an apron, which is the same color as the dress. And that's kind of how you know. I guess now she's responsible for cooking. I don't know. I don't know why. Don't ask me why that started. It's just is what it is. And then the men will start growing a beard. And that's how you know. So don't be winking at no Amish men with beards. They're married. Martin01 says, haven't had apple cider in years. Oh, you should. Yeah, yeah. This is the best. Not pasteurized or nothing. It's hard to get because most people are afraid to make it just because of lawsuits. People get a stomach ache, they drink too much or something, they get a stomach ache, and it's back on the company that made it. So most of it's pasteurized that you can purchase, but it's trash. It's no good. I've had some that's decent, but it's not anywhere near fresh apple cider. Random Adventure says, I love apple cider. Had some in New York a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, this stuff is awesome. It's just awesome. Do the Amish hunt? QRF Zach. Yeah, they do hunt. Amish love hunting. Not all of them, but I would say the majority love hunting. There's an Amish-owned hunting store in Shipshewana, Indiana called... My friend owned it. I can't remember now. I don't know. It's in Shipshewana on State Road 20. But yeah, constantly Amish coming in there. Hunt. Obviously, they hunt deer, they hunt turkey, and they love going out west. A lot of them love going out west to hunt elk and mule deer. More and more are doing so. They pay big bucks for guides and all that stuff. Random Adventure says, Lancaster, PA is huge for tourism. It is, yep. No idea camping and stuff over here in Pennsylvania, but Green Hubs interviewed me about a year ago. Oh, okay. I think it's hard to see your picture. I wish I could see your profile picture, but I might know now, yeah. I just know there was an off-road guy from Napanee, Indiana that we discussed some things. RNA Creative Woodworks. Good afternoon, CJ. Been a long time. Yeah, it's been a long time since you've been here. It's good to see you again. Welcome back. I've read a couple of times that most Amish get married in November. Is that true? Well, in some communities, possibly, because then the harvest would be over. But not in this. In this community, there's not that many farms left over. So weddings they start up as soon as it's warm, like sometimes even in like March or April. But often, like it's heavy wedding season from May through October. Kylie Cook. Kylie Cook asks, do they have wedding cake? Yes, they do have a wedding cake. They do get decorated wedding cakes from either made by other Amish people or non-Amish people. My sister's all like the flowers they had at their weddings. They hired non-Amish people to bring them in to do them. They just went in. I don't know how that works, but they just went in, picked the flowers they liked, and then those flowers were delivered. But yeah, same with the wedding cake. They do that. Yep, they have them. They buy them in. John Dunn asks, who does the cooking? That is a lot of people. I know it is. So they usually have 40 or 50 women who cook. It's insane. Is it 40 or 50? I don't know. I might be off a little bit there, but it's 30 plus women who cook for sure. And they have assigned head cook, and they have the women who take care of the mashed potatoes, the other women who take care of the veggies, the other women who take care of the all this different stuff. You can come out. Okay. Our kid's at a play taking pictures. She's become a photographer, I guess. So they have their assigned places, and if there's any, a lot of times the corner booth where the bride and groom sit with their two witnesses, two sets of witnesses. There's three couples that sit at the bridal table, the ek dish, the corner table. They will often get somebody they know, good friends, brothers, or whatever, to grill them some steaks or something. And the steaks and stuff are only for that table, not for the rest of the guests. But yeah, for the rest of it, you have your women who are in charge of coffee. It just everybody's has kind of their assigned roles. Then you have the table waiters, which is usually a lot of times the friends or relatives of the bride and groom who aren't married yet. So they're kind of the rabashti. They're kind of the rebels sometimes, especially those are the ones that'll often be drinking or something like that. If they're in Rumspringa, if they're not, there's not going to be drinking. Kind of depends on the group the couple hung out with when they were, going through their youth period. So, but yeah, then the table waiters will just serve everybody family style. So they'll, once the prayer's said at a meal, they'll go grab platefuls of food from the cooks, dishes full of food from the cooks. They'll bring them back and send them down the line, and everybody just scoops them out. And then after the meal, the table waiters start clearing the table up, and more designated dishwashers come in and help them clean up. But the cook definitely have the most, I would say, the most to do. They're there in the morning, 8, 9 o'clock, getting stuff ready. The cook and the table waiters eat at like 10:30 in the morning. Then they go over to the church where the couple is getting married. And they'll only be over there for like 30 minutes. Watch the couple get married. They'll come back early. Tables are set. Food is ready. Guests arrive. They feed them. And then there's from noon meal till 4:30 the cook eat again, because then they have to be ready to serve huge meals at 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock. 5 o'clock when the other guests arrive that weren't invited in the morning, and the ones that stayed all day, and then at 7 o'clock for all the youth who show up. So lots of food. So Ricky Rochelle, where did you get your information about someone trying to take 6 Amish school girls? From the neighbor. She lives right across the street from where it happened, actually. So I'm not going to reveal the location. I don't know if that's smart, but yeah, this was legit. I don't kind of hate putting videos out there. Like, I don't want to scare people. I hate the fear, all the fear. I call it fear porn. It's out on the internet today. But this was real. Somebody actually tried to take him. It is, and we were trying to warn other Amish families. Just watch your kids, because it would be easy, especially in those hilly areas. And you might think, well, how are Amish families going to get that info if they don't have TV or cell phones or something? But the youth do. They sneak them around. So that video was intended for Amish people to, and well, anybody else, but to watch your kids, because Amish kids go to school with their little carts and their little wagons, or they walk, right? It's not like they're getting on a bus. Noah Helmuth, Dutchman Hunting Supply. That's what it is. Dutchman Hunting Supply is the Amish-owned outdoors store, hunting store in Shipshewana, Indiana. Hey, good afternoon, Chris. How are you? So is it true that it's considered an honor to be asked to help cook for a wedding? Yep, it is. It is considered, any part in the wedding is considered an honor. So, and I don't know why, I guess a lot of people get asked, but yeah, it's considered an honor. Like, it's not like, oh, I gotta go do this at a wedding. It's an honor. Table waiter, same thing. And especially for the little kids, because there's little kids who, a lot of times in these weddings, the couple will have pens or combs or little notepads or something with their name on it and their wedding date, and maybe even their address if they purchased a place already. And they'll hand them out, and they'll have a guest book they'll send around to sign. So what happens is, so what they'll do is they'll get these little nieces and nephews a lot of times, you know, from 5, 6, 7 to 12, 13 years old, to go from table to table to pass these around. And they're always, especially little girls, are always excited, well, and the boys too, are always excited to have a part, to be able to have a responsibility to do that. Oftentimes the teenage boys, 12, 13, 14, 15, who aren't table waiters, aren't old enough really to be table waiters, are responsible for keeping the water coolers filled. The Amish have big old aluminum tanks of insulated tanks where they dump water in. They have spigots that needs to be full of water and full of ice, and so the table waiters can come up with their pitchers and fill water to provide the table with water. So yeah, they're always, you know, I was a pooper scooper once. You know, I was responsible for keeping the barns clean, which is crazy, but it's an honor, you know. I got to go out there and shovel the poop. So why are weddings held on Thursdays? Ricky asks. So here they're Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Usually Thursday and Friday is when they're held. I think one of the reasons it's not on a Saturday like normal is because of cleanup. So they don't work on Sundays, so they don't want to have cleanup done. This was traditionally so back in the day. Yeah, you like, I think back in the day they used to they'd have the wedding, they'd eat that last meal, and then they would just walk away, and they would just have fun, hang out, whatever, go home and sleep. And then the next morning, some people would show up and they would wash all those dishes, and then put all the dishes away and do whatever needs to be done. You know, back then they used to borrow like 5, 6, 7 stoves from the neighbors. So they would go to the neighboring houses and unhook their stoves, gas stoves, and bring them to wherever the wedding's at and hook them up. And then my uncle actually was one of the first ones that said at my mom's wedding was started saying, okay, look, if we just had a trailer full of stoves, this would be much easier. And that's how the wedding stove wagon was invented, by my uncle actually. So he got with somebody else and they built one, and then 2, and then now there's quite a bit. But so yeah, I think that's why they don't have it on Saturdays, is because of the cleanup after. They would have had to wait till Monday to do all the cleanup. But things have changed now a little bit. Like at my sister's weddings, after the 7 o'clock meal, the youth eat. They have designated table waiter or designated dishwashers. They come in, they wash all the dishes that night. As a matter of fact, it's kind of amazing. By 10 o'clock, my last sister who got married, Lanita, I don't know if I should mention, yeah, by 10 o'clock at night, the cook wagon was wiped down, the dishes were all put away, the tables were all wiped down and put into the trailer. The trailer was ready to go the next morning, the 2 trailers, by 10 o'clock. Just the neighbors helping out, everybody just, it's amazing how all that works. People just get together and they just do. And you don't stand around. Like, if you don't know what to do, you don't just stand there. You find something to do. Like, you know, I was helping wipe down some tables and putting tables away. Then we had that done. So now what? So now you find something else. You go, okay, we still need to get all the coffee mugs found and put in the church wagon, make sure they're clean and all that. So everybody just digs in and just does it. Yeah, it's pretty amazing, especially, and funerals is just a whole nother thing. It's quite amazing. It's really amazing. Why am I getting a... Okay, I'll have to check in, getting a message on my work phone. Where did you get your information? Okay, yes, Dutchman honey. Yep, sorry. Do they shoot target practice for fun or competition? Do the Amish shoot target? Yeah, they do target practice for fun. They do competition too. Yeah, they do competition. There's people who, I'm not a hunter, not really a shooter, although I do have guns and I like shooting, but it's just not one of my passions like it is for some people. But they will do bow shoot competitions. There's areas, things set up where they go around, you know, their scores and stuff. Dutchman hunting, I don't know if they still do or not, but they actually used to have like a, since they're allowed to use electricity, they actually had a bow shoot thing up there where you'd have a screen with a, I don't know if it's a projector or whatever, and you would stand there and you would watch the deer walk in on your screen, and then you would shoot them with a bow, and it's pretty cool. I don't know if they still have that. But they'll get together, shoot guns too. They like the tannerites. If you guys don't know what tannerites are, it's like an exploding target thing. You buy the little canisters of tannerite. A lot of people, they'll put them in refrigerators or whatever and blow stuff up with it. Amish guys. Like, it's not uncommon to be sitting in the backyard in the summer on a Friday night or Thursday night, with a campfire or whatever, and you'll hear a big boom, and you know somebody in the area has invited friends over and they just shot a tannerite. That's just how it is around here. It doesn't happen every night, but yeah, you can hear them, you can see it. It does. Kylie from Australia, really? No kidding. That's a ways away. The other side. Thanks for Holmes County. Thanks from Holmes County. Ricky, so you're from Holmes County. I'm headed out there Tuesday and Wednesday, Ricky. And then I think again Friday and Saturday. So my uncle, I got to check with him, but he asked me to take him Friday and Saturday. He's a checker player. There's a checker tournament going on out there. He's an expert checker player. I think he played the world champion dude one time, beat him. I don't know if he beat him or not, but I don't know. Yeah, they played. Checkers of all things. That used to be a thing for my grandpa used to play. I think he used to play quite a bit. Back in the day when life was slow, he would go to town on a Saturday and he would just sit there at the grocery store or the drugstore up there in Shipshewana and play some checkers. So Butterfly Meadows Homestead, hey, how are you? Thank you for joining and welcome. Ricky says he had a 4,000 pizza fundraiser yesterday. Hey, Ricky, was that the Amish? Was that a pizza drive? I'm assuming. Maybe not. Amish, I don't know if they still do. They used to. Here, would make a bunch of pizzas or sub sandwiches or chicken sometimes, grilled chicken, and they would just load it up in cars and go knocking from door to door on Amish homes selling chicken. So then you would just, they would tell you how much you want, how many pizzas, say. You would hand them the pizzas, you would hand out a bucket, they would drop in whatever amount of cash, and it was a nice fundraiser. There wasn't a set amount of cash, it was always just donations, and they always came out on top. Hey Jamie from Reno. Coy the Corgi from Wyoming. You guys are all from the nice places. We're at in Wyoming. Hi from Ontario, Canada. I live in Croydon, South London. No kidding, Nita. Did I know that already? South London. I would love to visit Europe sometime. I also love to visit the Holy Lands. I call Karen English, this is awesome. I called the cops on a neighbor once before I knew of tannerite. Disturbed my Sunday afternoon and shook my house. Yeah, it's not a light boom, it's a big boom. It is a big boom. We had a huge community Amish community buy up all the property in Powell, Wyoming. They are making sheds. They are from Ohio. No kidding. Yeah, so living on a dime to grow rich also stated that. I don't know if she's from Powell area, but she said they had Amish out there. That's interesting. if Caleb, if Northern Indiana Amish use battery technology, you'd think Teslas would be okay. You would think so. They're still at the tractor stage, and not yet bikes, not yet e-bikes. You know, it's funny. It's funny because Indiana Amish here, they scoff at Ohio Amish. All Ohio Amish, not all Ohio Amish. The main Ohio Amish, the liberal ones, have e-bikes, not the Schwarzentroopers, maybe not the Dan Amish, but they all have e-bikes. And I keep hearing comments here in this community about they have e-bikes and that's ridiculous. But someday, all the Amish here will have e-bikes, and it's not going to be ridiculous anymore. It's just they're not allowed to have them, so we're gonna knock them for having them a little bit. It's all funny, but they're not at the level of Tesla just yet. Ricky says, yes, I delivered to Mount Hope. Are you? Oh, Ricky, you must be. Are you a van driver? Maybe they hired you to deliver. Hello from Georgia. Amish folks thoughts on welding. Oh, there's a lot of Amish who weld. Yeah, there's a lot of Amish who weld. Matter of fact, I was just installing a door for my cousin the other day, and their son, 15 years old, is learning to weld aluminum. There's some aluminum shops. There's other, like my sister's boyfriend. I think they have a steel shop. Is it a welding shop? I don't know. Big, huge business. Welding. Yeah, there's quite a bit of Amish welding going on. And they make some awesome stuff. Also, the Amish are seriously into elk hunting. They also drive Kubotas. Yep. They must be some more modern Amish driving their tractors around to get to town to get some groceries. Yep. Tracy Ann's creative ideas and swimming. Hello from North Yorkshire, England. I love all your videos. Please keep them coming. Yeah, I need to get back on it. I just need to do more. Time is an issue. But yeah, North Yorkshire, England. Man, that'd be awesome being over there. You know, I would love. When I went to Lancaster, Pennsylvania, it was that Amish community there. It was different. It made me think more of England. Big old stone houses, stone barns. You know, and there's some vinyl siding on houses, but there's a lot more like wood, the real materials. Vinyl to me, I never did this before, but after coming home from Pennsylvania, just vinyl to me looks cheap and trashy. And yes, the newer vinyl looks good, whatever for now, but it's going to look cheap and trashy. And it just made me think of like the old world a little bit more over in Europe. And I'd love to go over there. Love to go over there and see. Good evening from PA, says Kim. So, yeah. So yesterday we went running, me and the Amish guys, my brother. And we went out for breakfast because me, my dad, my brothers have breakfast once a month, Saturdays. And then my parents and my brother and his family and then some of my other siblings, we went up to the Air Zoo up in Kalamazoo, which is just an air museum, which was kind of fun. So they have some cool airplanes and stuff. But yeah, we went up there, just checked out the planes. They got an SR-71 Blackbird. My one nephew is super into SR-71 Blackbirds. It is a sleek looking plane. It's cool. They have simulators there, which is hilarious. Flight simulators where you actually crawl in and you fly the plane. And if you do a barrel roll, you physically do a barrel roll. Like that's just the machine moves however you move. So you can be flying upside down. You're actually hanging upside down. I laughed my butt off. Me and my brother hopped in there, and it was hilarious. But yeah, I saw something. This is kind of why I titled the video the way it does. They had a little space section, and let's see if I can bring it up here. Right there, I found this hilarious. Neil Armstrong. It says NASA budgeted $24 million for the space program. Neil Armstrong spent 2 hours and 40 minutes walking on the lunar surface for his historic moonwalk. He made roughly $33. Of course. Of course it's $33. Not 32, not 30, not 34, not 43. It's 33. That's just so funny. That's so funny to me. It's so obvious. It's just right there alone says it was faked. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the 33 is used by the Illuminati. It's a Freemason number. It's always there. 33, 33, 66, 9/11. They always use it. Always will. Just like the Earth revolving around the sun, 66,600 miles an hour. There's your sixes. It always pops up. You know, when this pandemic came out in 2020, I think I can say the words now. I'm just going to, whatever. COVID, you know. Somebody had compiled a lot of news articles that said 33-year-old dies of coronavirus, or 33 more people infected with coronavirus in so-and-so county in Florida, or 33, so there's just 33, 33, 33, and it's just a very revealing number. And yes, I understand, sometimes it's going to be coincidence, but it's $33, of course, Neil. That's what you made. I just found that funny. I don't know why he got paid. So here it says, Neil Armstrong made a $27,400 annual salary. Buzz Aldrin, $18,622 a year. Michael Collins, $17,100. Why did Neil make so much more? Why? Because he was the front runner? Like, didn't Buzz Aldrin do just as much? I mean, would Buzz Aldrin have been paid more if he would have been the first one to step on the moon? Like, I don't understand why they got paid way less. Like, that's a big chunk of money less back in that day. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I just find the 33 funny. So I had to share that. Most people won't get that. Now I'll be labeled as a crazy person. So the Powell English people drive Amish around, yep, but they drive tractors. My Amish friend said they only wear I don't know what, boots. Possibly, huh? Do you think things will change once the Amish becomes 1 to 2 million people? Maybe. Maybe. I know it's changing fast already. Like, it's changing really fast with the newer generations. One thing I'm going to find very interesting is I heard a preacher say that this is an Amish preacher, that we are saved by faith alone, not works, which is very, very interesting, because he's a young guy. Because when you dig into Amish theology, that's not what they believe. That's not what they teach. They think they do, but it's not. So I think the more as this younger generation grows up, the more open-minded they are, the more open they're going to be to studying the Bible, and the more they're going to be finding the truth. So, hey, Tara is in the chat. I pronounce your name wrong every time. We were just talking about your Amish up in Wyoming. So, no disrespect, it's difficult to understand how these folks can ride around in a horse-drawn wagon but use high-tech tools. I know it does not make sense to anybody. I get it. It doesn't make sense, really. And another Butterfly Meadows home. Do you know if the Amish are aware of cashless society that is being pushed right now? I don't know how aware they are of it, but yeah, they're the ones I live around do know that something's in the works. Yeah, they know, but I don't know how well informed they are. A lot of times they're kind of misinformed with some of the stuff anyway, but yeah, But yeah, so the rules, horse-drawn wagons, but you can still use. They're using LED, the latest technology in batteries. They're running their refrigerators off of batteries now a lot. They've become so efficient. Matter of fact, I took a group of Amish people to Pennsylvania for the RV show because they build RV refrigerators, or they build 12-volt refrigerators. They used to have a business. Wait, no, that was before. Yeah, I think but there's Amish people who build 12-volt refrigerators for the house. Um, I think they're actually now more efficient than the 12 volts are more efficient than electric, but it still takes quite a bit of battery. Um, so I hope it never happens, but I know some of the stories are headed that way. My daughter went to an event in Lexington, Kentucky that was cashless this past summer. Yeah, it's probably coming. So yeah, it is. I'm not sure what we're gonna do. We're gonna have to trade or what. I guess we'll just take it as it comes. The technology, though, I know like a lot of ex-Amish, including myself, we try when we start stepping out of that world, we're like, oh, so stupid. They drive tractors. Why don't they just get a truck? Or oh, they have electricity, or they can use generators but not have electricity, or they can do. But you know, but and it doesn't make sense. But I can assure you that the Amish are living more wholesome lives than most other Americans because they don't have TVs, because they don't have a way to get around that easily. They stay at home more. They don't waste they spend time together more. They work together more. They play games together. They chat more. They might read more books, and especially with TVs, they're not sitting in front of that TV every evening for 3-4 hours, which is a complete waste of time. Sorry. The TV, if you're watching YouTube and learning stuff, I get that. There's so much information on YouTube. I've learned so much on YouTube. I continue to learn so much on YouTube. But the nonsense shows and the news it's just a complete waste of time, and it does nothing but cloud your mind. And maybe even worse, probably even worse with all the propaganda that comes through that. TV is great, Satan's greatest tool, in my opinion. It was Satan's greatest tool in splitting apart families, the splitting the wife and the husband apart, splitting up families. It's just Satan's greatest tool. And America would be so much better off if they just took that TV out of the house. I can assure you that. There's just a friend, some friends posted on Facebook how they took the TV away from their kids, and in a week's time they already noticed a big difference in their children. They didn't completely take it away, but they didn't have free access to it. It's probably kind of hard for somebody who didn't grow up Amish to see it, but it's such a huge advantage not having that. We don't have one. All we have is we have a laptop and a phone. Now, me and my wife doesn't watch movies, but me and Miranda, once in a while, we'll sit down and we'll watch a movie once a week, something like that, twice a week, probably once a week average, where we'll sit down and we'll watch a movie together, and it's a clean one. It's one I approve of, um, or we'll sit down and watch like the Montana Haven, or a YouTube channel that we enjoy, but yeah, just get rid of the TVs. Oh, so much. Yeah, so they have a huge advantage. So I know the rules sound stupid, but there's such because the Amish people, when they go to a hotel, the first thing they'll do is turn that TV on and they'll watch. But who cares? At home, when they're at home, their stupid rules still give them a much more wholesome life than most people will ever experience. I can assure you of that. And I would advise anybody to live more like that. I think we should get rid of our cars, or just get down to one car so that you only have one vehicle that you and your wife share. And then you're forced to work together more on your trips. Like you can't just you run to the hardware, the husband runs to the hardware, wife runs to the store, and you're not separated. You have to go together. You make one trip to the hardware, then you go together to the grocery store, and you come home. And that time is, you know, if you're fighting, you need to work things out. If you, whatever, it just, I don't know how to explain all the details, but you know, and then instead of, that's another reason why Amish areas keep their places so clean, especially like Holmes County. I'm talking about our communities, the more modern ones. They don't have a TV because it's really, I've lived with TVs. It's so easy to with cable and you know, we had direct TV back when I was younger, me and my buddy, and it's too easy to, you might be doing something, go fix a car, you come in, you make dinner, and then you just sit in front of the TV eating your dinner, and then you never get up, and you sit there for 3 hours, and you go to bed. Very, very unproductive. Very unproductive. If America just got rid of it, I've said I can't. I keep beating the same horse. Just get rid of the TV and watch the difference. So, I have mad respect for them folks keeping it real. Probably have to adjust to the current times and yet regulate. So where are we at here? Yeah, so you know there's some negative to having all these rules, these ridiculous rules, because there's you know, fighting goes on, bickering behind the scenes. Well, you know, why can't we have this, or why can't we have that, or you know, like there's disagreements and all that, and in the, especially in the harder, stricter churches that crack down on the rules a lot more, there's church splits because of it, you know, and it's insane. But I don't, there shouldn't be any rules. There shouldn't be any rules on what you can and can't have wound into a religion, into your beliefs. You know, the scripture should be separate from what you choose to have and not have. There shouldn't, nobody should be dictating whether you're allowed to drive a car or not. But the Amish would argue, well, you agreed to not drive a car when you became Amish. So you're making that choice. So I get that. But then the shunning comes in when you do get caught driving a car or something like that, which shouldn't happen because it's not biblical to not drive a car. It's not biblical. The scripture doesn't say that you can't drive a car. But I highly encourage people to, I would highly encourage people to just live simpler like the Amish. Get rid of all that extra stuff. Work a little harder. It makes life simpler. Do it. Try it. Try it for a month. You know what? Take the TV off of the wall, stick it in the closet for a whole month, and watch what happens. Do your cell phones and just delete YouTube, Facebook, whatever off of Twitter, Instagram. Delete it off of your phone for a month. Your whole family. Just try it for a month and see what happens. My younger Amish are moving out to more liberal communities. Yeah, I believe that. They like the more liberal stuff. There, you know, at Shipshewana, there's 2 churches that have e-bikes, and that the land prices, people are moving into those church districts so they can have e-bikes. I have a question. Do the Amish have weddings other than on Sunday? Went to the Amish community here yesterday, and everyone was gone. I remember they were to have a wedding in October, but it was Saturday. So they don't have weddings on Sundays at all. Usually it's Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. Usually Thursdays. Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. But went to the Amish community here yesterday and everybody was gone. Interesting. Did they all go to like a sale or something? How many people are in that community? There might have been a funeral or an auction or something like that. I don't know. That's interesting. Who knows? Cashless is taxation. I'm not sure. Not sure what you mean by that. Hey, Karen. I don't have a TV. That's good. I don't have a TV. I only watch YouTube. Correct. Somebody had said, what was it? Maybe it's further down here. I don't do anything cashless. I'm 71 and refuse to give the government that much access to my personal info. Yeah, I wish, we should try to practice more ways of maybe getting underneath the tax system by trading or, yeah, just dealing in, I don't know if there's ways to do that. Just, yeah. Yeah. Staying at home more is a key in family. People are slaves to credit cards and house payments. Exactly. Yes. Living on a dime can help you with all that. Hey, Daryl. I know I've been disappearing. I just took a break. I got burned out. So I just stopped the videos, just took a break, and decided to pop up here live. I'll probably do live on Sundays again. It's just Saturday. I got too much going on Saturdays. So might do it Sunday afternoons. So Butterfly Meadows, I agree with less TV, more wholesome life. Yep. Is it okay to keep the Sabbath? Daryl Miller did you ask that? I think it's okay. Yeah, like I don't no, absolutely. Like I don't think you need to. I don't think it's a requirement anymore, New Testament. But because it's Jesus, like Jesus gave us a couple commands. Love your neighbor, love your God, which covers 9 of the 10 commandments. But the Sabbath is Old Testament, right, for the Jews, and it is on a Saturday, not Sunday. Starts Friday night, ends Saturday night, from the way I understand it. Sunday is not the Sabbath. We worship on Sunday, from what I understand, because that's the day Jesus rose, and that's when the early church started gathering together to meet and worship Christ. So, but Jesus commanded the Jews, Israel, to take a day of rest, like the last day, Saturday, right? Said on the last day you rest, and nobody's to do work, and not even your animals. And I think it is a good idea. I think a day of rest is great. So I do it for the most part. There's some times when I've needed to get something done, like a car fixed or something. I just did it, but I prefer to take the day off and just rest. Just do not read a book, eat some popcorn, watch a movie, whatever it may be, and not work. And because I think God, why would He implement that in the law if it wasn't beneficial? So, which makes me wonder why He implemented the not eat bacon. Was there benefits to not eating bacon? I don't want to hear it if there is. I love my bacon. Koi the Corgi, do Amish like English stopping by their home to say hi? That probably depends on time of day and the person. Obviously, Amish people all have different personalities. It just depends. Amish have a lot of work to do, and if somebody stops in and starts chatting, their work stops. But if like in the morning, they'll have more time. In the evening, when they're trying to get supper together for the family, trying to get the chores done, maybe not so much. Maybe not so much in the evening. It just depends on the person. There's the introverts and the extroverts and all that. Just be courteous. Don't just be very aware of if they're listening or they're kind of fidgety and want you to get out of there. But yeah, no, I don't. I mean, I wouldn't. I'd stop in. Like I just swung by a very old order Amish community, and I drove by a little bit. I turned around and I swung in, and because they were outside, and I started asking him questions, and he gave me a full hour tour. And I gave him $40 for his time. That was because I was doing writing a book on gardening, so I paid him for his time. But then he was, they don't have a great way of making money, so he was grateful for that. And I gave him ice cream. But it depends on the community. Like if you live close to an old order Amish community that doesn't have refrigeration, taking them ice cream in the summertime would be their best friends. Or soda, cold Pepsis. It's not very healthy, but it's a way in. Nita says I don't have a car either. Yeah, see, that's good. Like it's for Amish people, it's frustrating not having a car. Sometimes they just need to go to the bank on a Saturday morning, but it's raining, and it's like, so they got to hitch up a horse or they got to just wait till Monday, but they really need to go to the bank. So it's frustrating. But yeah, they chose it, so they're okay with it. They'll hire a driver if they have to. They'll complain about the driver prices. But I just had a conversation with my family, and like they're not, the drivers really aren't making that much money. What are your thoughts on certificate of baptism? The Church of Christ does that when you're baptized. Are you, Daryl, are you going to the Church of Christ? I'm starting to be a little concerned. I might step away from that church. I would say no. Why do you need a certificate of baptism? That that is saying that baptism is necessary for you to be a Christian, and it's not. So yeah, let me know if I've heard churches of Christ are a little legalism, and they believe that baptism is necessary for salvation. I would not believe that. I don't think that's biblical at all. So I'd be very leery about that. I don't know what else they would teach. Maybe email me, Daryl, if you have email. It's the Amish Potato 1 at gmail.com. Give me some more information, because I don't know every different church, but I'm starting to question the Church of Christ more and more. So, hey Shiloh, how have you been? We've been good. Just taking some time off from YouTube. I need to get back to making videos. I'm kind of out of content. I just need some more content. So just kind of feeling things out right now. But how's Miranda? She's doing great. I have a video in the editor with more of her in it. The church, our church we go to, they're doing a youth band basically, and she wanted to play the cajon, so which is the drum box. So instead of buying her one, I decided to build them. So I built two of them, one for her and one for me. So I did a video with some of that stuff in there. So she's in it a little bit. You'll be able to see her there, but she's doing good. Just a bubbly self, except for the morning she's a little grumpy because she wakes up slow. So Karen says, I'm also careful what I watch on YouTube. Only Christian channels do follow. I did that at the beginning of the year. One of the best decisions I made. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube not wholesome. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, YouTube is such a phenomenal resource, but it's got lots of trash. We've been sold a pipe dream that we need all this crap. Amen to that. Amen to that, Creative Woodworks. Do you do woodworking? Creative Woodworks? RNA? I'm still dreaming of building a house by hand. I've been convincing my mom and dad to sell their house and let me build their house by hand and do it on YouTube. But that would mean probably buying cabinets in. But how would I do the trim? How do you do nice trim work with a handsaw? Because we're used to these cushy compound miter saws, right? The Amish use the TVs in their campers too. They probably don't know how we know, but you'll see the antenna swiveling around. Ah, busted. Yeah, they do use them in their campers for sure. You know, they'll go to the library and rent movies for the weekend at the campground. It's Jesus only. Amen to that. Amen to that. Not supposed to be Jesus plus. Can Amish people become electrical engineers? Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. Yes, I believe so. Yeah, they could. Electrical engineers. What do they do exactly? There's Amish with electrician's license, plumber's license, stuff like that. Didn't I just speak to an Amish guy who sits in the office and figures out all the electrical? I think that would be an electrical engineer. Not sure. I can't remember now. I'm going to take that challenge, the no TV challenge. Do it. That would be awesome. Just see what happens. See if it changes. If nothing changes, then put the TV back in. The news. It's funny how, like, just the news, how everybody 3 years ago was saying fake news, fake news, fake news, and then now they believe everything in the news is putting out about Israel and all that stuff. Like, really? You scream fake news, but now it's not fake news anymore? All of a sudden they decided to be honest? No, they're not. The Israel thing. I have a, I don't know why Christians are so supportive of Israel. I get it. The Jews are God's people. I don't know how that all works, but Israel has been corruptness for a very long time. Um, and why we support Israel the way we do is, I think, insane. But what we do know about what's coming out of the news about Ukraine and Israel and all that stuff, what one thing we know for 100%, what we know we're 100% sure of is that their story isn't completely accurate. Their story is false. We know that. We can know that for sure. Just that's a given. So why we still even watch it, I don't know. But I shared a video actually in the description box below. I had shared it on Facebook. Then I took it down because I watched half of it, posted it on Facebook, and then somebody thankfully commented saying, "Hey." So it gets into some things I don't know anything about, or that maybe don't agree with. However, that video, the link is in the description, explains very well how the ruling elite operate. So in the video, it claims that Israel pulled back troops from the border a day or two before Gaza attacked in that spot. I believe it. Is it true? I don't know. That video also states that Hamas is actually controlled by the ruling elite in Israel. It's created by Israel, which, is that true or not? I don't know for sure, but it makes sense. They do this all the time. So what I'm saying is Israel created Hamas to attack themselves. So now Israel has an excuse to go blow up Gaza, right? As a victim. Israel is always playing the victim card. They did this to us, so now we get to go blow them up. Why do you think 9/11 happened? Do you think it really was just a bunch of radical Muslims? They're over there. The Muslims are over there. They're milking their goats, and they're just having families, and they don't want to. Why would they want to come blow up the United States? Why? They just want a life. No. Somebody over here wanted access to what they have, so they blow up our towers. Not with planes. Maybe the planes crashed, but it was definitely controlled demolition. Now we're getting into conspiracies again. But so they blow up our towers that way. Now all of us in America, I was one of them. Let's go get them. Go get them, boys. Go get them. Go to war. Go get those dirty radical Muslims. And they did, and they went over there and fought for how many years and killed how many people? It was an inside job. Pearl Harbor's the same way. Nobody wanted to go to war. So how do you get people to support America into going to war? You attack your own country. Make it look like it was somebody else. They're using the same playbook over and over and over. Now, I can't prove any of this. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but it's becoming, there's a pattern happening, and it seems too obvious now. Now, is Israel and the Jews, the Israel as nation and the Jews, is that the same thing? God's people in Israel, or is that a separate thing? Because there's a lot of people who call themselves Jews who aren't Jews, who don't practice Jews, right? They just use that as the victim state. Oh, you hate on us Jews, right? But yeah, Israel has been using America's military finances, whatever it is, to play their games for far too long, and I'm out. I don't really care what's going on there. They figured it out. Is Gaza all clear and innocent? Probably not. No, I don't care. It's just I'm out. It's tired of hearing the war drums being. It's sad that we need to go fight other people's wars all the time. We need to keep our nose out of it. So I'm probably losing some viewers at this point. There's around 50 or so here now in the community. There are only 2 people in the store. It was just weird because every time we go, it's a beehive of activity. Yeah, I wonder if there wasn't some event on a Saturday. QRF, ZACS. You guys have to come up with easier names. Was the COVID shot accepted in the community? I'm sure some took it, but the majority probably not. So Wayne Helmuth says, you are so right about making rules to reinforce God's word, because as Jesus said in Mark 7, adding to God's word weakens it. Yep, amen to that. Yeah, that needs to be separated. So if there's, I don't agree with shunning, but if there's, like in the Amish church, if a brother is approached because he's in sin, it needs to be a sin that's in the Bible, not wearing a pair of jeans or having a cell phone. Are the women allowed to have English friends? Trying to friend one Amish woman who seems like she really needs one. Yeah, they are absolutely. They are. They are allowed to have English friends. Just depends on the person, how welcoming they are. What is going on out there? That was a cat on our trailer. Okay. So just be very careful with sharing scripture and stuff like that with them. They're going to be more receptive to you as far as scripture, God's word, encouraging words, than they would be with an ex-Amish person like me. But just don't force it on them. Just kind of subtly drop some stuff here and there, and because they're defensive on that. I believe what I believe, and I don't want to hear what you have to believe. You believe what you believe. I believe what I believe. We're going to leave it at that. And once people start pushing on them their beliefs on the Amish, they just so yeah, absolutely. You know what? I don't know what the community is like out there. If they're driving tractors, I'm guessing they can have non-Amish friends. You know, and one way to do that is by serving them, which is kind of what we're called to do as Christ followers. So just offering her help or a ride or something like that. Just, be careful not to get taken advantage of. Karen, who's a member, says the bacon and food rule, some was symbolic and for being separated from the pagan nations around them. Also, some of the rules because they didn't understand technology-wise regarding sanitation. Yeah, you know what? I forgot about that. Yeah, that's a good point, Karen Tyler. Yep, sanitation stuff. The pork might have been a problem if it wasn't cooked correctly. I heard Amish women don't shave. Kathy says there are some who don't. The strict Amish communities might not shave. I don't think they do. The really strict ones. But the Amish and the bigger, the more modern Amish, they do. They have their hygiene practices are, I would say, the same as non-Amish women. Do Amish accept Christmas gifts? All the Amish that I know do. So yeah, that is a good way to start befriending somebody. Just don't be overly pushy, just be nice. Don't try to force a friendship. But Koi the Corgi, I don't know if you're trying to make a friend, but yeah, they do accept Christmas gifts. We have Christmas exchange we had as kids. Where I live, we don't need a car. Public transport is very accessible. Nita, I'm thinking you guys get it more than we do here in America. We have, we own 4 vehicles. Just me and my wife. That's it. 3 of them are kind of mine. Well, I don't know. Yeah, 4 vehicles. It's ridiculous. And there's so many cars out there on the road with one person in it. Spoiled. We're spoiled. Colorado Springs, Colorado. Hello. You probably see quite a few Amish people come through there. My God through Jesus does not require certificates or to speak through another man for communications to God. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, no, I disagree with the certificate. I like seeing trips on your channel. Not sure what you mean by that. Where did we go? I like seeing trips on your channel. Not sure. So Hop Man says you can make planes for trim. Oh, no kidding. So hand planes, I'm assuming. What about the 45 corners and stuff? How do you get those accurate with a handsaw? Old Stanley 45 or 55. Optimum, it sounds like I need to talk to you. Where do I find old tools? I am looking for, I was going to look at the antique stores in Ohio this week, but I'm looking for a bit and brace set, a nice set. I have a block plane, the Stanley Sweetheart block plane. I have some chisels, some Bailey chisels, but I need a jack plane. So number 4, maybe even number 5, I don't know. And I need some good hand saws, and I need a bit and brace because I'm going to start building stuff by hand. I kind of enjoy it. And I just discovered that the lumber store in Shipshewana, Indiana sells stiletto hammers. So, whew, are those pricey, but I wouldn't mind getting my hand on one. I'd also watch you make something from scratch. You could fast forward it. Yeah, I should do that. I have some projects I need to do, so I should do that. Brandon, as Bill, prove your statements. What statements? All about Israel stuff. I can't prove it. That's just, but this is how they operate in the background. The video kind of explains it well. So it's a corrupt, the ruling elite. The world is not what we think it is. The ruling elite manipulate stuff in the background all the time, and that's just how they do it. But now with the internet, and people being able to share experiences, all this stuff is being revealed. It is the great revealing. Maybe this is what the Bible's talking about when it says knowledge will increase. As in we're finally seeing that a lot of stuff we've been told is nothing but a lie. You look at the medical world and stuff like that. Diet fixes a lot of things, and we've been told it's just medication that we need. But people are sharing information, experiences, and we are starting to wake up to reality, and I think it's in a very interesting, exciting times. Just the people who are putting their TVs away for a while or getting it away from their kids is just things like that. They share their experience, and then more people do it, and I think the pendulum is swinging back to a better, more wholesome life. And it might take a while to get there, but I'm excited. So it's just your opinion, is not facts. No, it's not my opinion. It's people are stating it as facts, and I'm just using discernment to say I believe this before I believe the news, for sure. Like I don't know anything about it, to be honest, other than that makes more sense than what the mainstream media is saying. And I can guarantee you what the mainstream media is putting out is not accurate. It never has been. So, how long have we? Hour and 18 minutes already? My computer's battery's dying fast. Right, that's not right, not facts. That's how misinformation gets started. Misinformation, yeah, it's everywhere. You just need to use discernment. Misinformation's coming from the news. We know that for sure. So now what? Yeah, so Karen Tyler, thank you for backing me up there. I try to walk most places. That's awesome. That's healthier. Yeah. See, that's what. So we don't. We walk. We get in our car and drive a half mile to the store. So if you're trying to look for old tools, try some thrift stores along with antique stores. I'm gonna have to try that. I just don't. Oh yeah, my battery's dead. I'm gonna have to do that. Okay, so Karen, when you go on trips, just you and your children, I enjoy seeing them on your channel. I posted when talking about needing content. Yeah, I need to do that. I forget to pull the camera out and stuff like that, but I have to do it. Hog, wait, so you have to look around if you want to not pay through the nose, but Hog Creek Antiques near Quincy, Michigan has pretty good tool booth. No kidding. That's close to me. That's awesome. I've driven past that store, but I'm headed there. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. Colonial Homestead, Middlesbrough Amish owned and has much of what you need. Buy at eBay prices. All right, that's good to know. That's good to know. Man, I love you guys. So full of information and knowledge. Yeah, believe the word of God above all else. I agree with that, Brandon. Believe that above all else. A good channel is Wood by Wright. How to, a really nice guy. Good. Goes through the basics. Wood by Wright. Okay, I'm going to have to, how do I get, oh, it's not going to let me do that. Oh, we're only 10, 11 miles apart? Interesting. Yeah, I'm here at Sturgis, in town, unfortunately. I got to go, guys. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, we'll see you next time. Probably next Sunday because I won't be able to do Saturday. I'll try to get some videos out if I just get off my butt and get them done. Yeah, thank you guys for joining me. Appreciate all your information here, sharing your info. We'll see you guys next time.